Hello, good evening and welcome to Wales, where we are about to embark on 7 nights of spine-tingling paranormal investigation as we go in search of all things terrifying in the village of the damned. Welcome to the start of what is going to be an incredible 7 nights of live investigation. We are in Wales, in an amazing complex of buildings. This place was home to nearly 2,000 people, some doctors, many patients. The village was totally self-sufficient with its own farm, blacksmith, carpenters, everything that a village would need. But it is also home to some amazingly frightening claims of sightings of ghosts, witches and demons and other creatures of the dark imaginings. Are these claims true or the result of overactive imaginations? That is what we aim to find out over the next 7 nights. But before I reveal any more, let me introduce the 2 gentlemen who will be guiding you through our coming adventures. Please, ladies and gentlemen, welcome Mr. Paul Ross and Julian Clegg.
Hello, Beth. And we should say a huge thank you to our incredibly brave and chilly audience here tonight, because this room has been at the heart of some of the most intense sightings, hasn't it?
It's going to be... I'm terribly sorry to tell this to you, everybody, but... well, I hope that you experience some paranormal activity this evening in this room, and I think you're going to. So let's keep our fingers crossed. Fantastic.
And having wandered around this place, the scale of this place is incredible.
I mean, in fact, you know this, it's 130 acres. The buildings, they're all dilapidated. There are floors all missing. I mean, it's extraordinary.
It is an extraordinary place, but another thing I'm very excited about, for the first time you 2 are involved in the investigation because you're here in this room. I really hope something happens to you guys. I really do.
Thank you so much.
Fingers crossed for all of us. But Julian, what's coming up in the next hour?
Well, Paul, first of all, we're going to be talking to Yvette and Carl and the investigation team in a few minutes' time. And a bit more about where we are. We're in this abandoned mental asylum in North Wales, 130 acres, an extraordinary location, as we've already been hearing, with reports of demons and witchcraft and hearsay of ghosts and ghouls, so we'll be hearing more about that. And as ever, I want you to get interactive with the show tonight. I'll be telling you how you can get in touch. You can text and go on the website in a few minutes' time. So grab a cushion to hide behind, turn down the lights, and prepare for what I know is going to be one of the scariest, most haunted lives we've ever done. Don't take my word for it. Have a look at this.
As regards my favourites, most haunted, the investigation at Birkenhead Town Hall immediately springs to mind, because I thought it was very, very well done, and obviously me being a resident of Birkenhead, you know, I was glued to the set watching and that.
Got a boyfriend? What's he like? Is he nice?
Yeah.
Does he treat you well?
Oh, yeah.
This is looking great, isn't it? Even so far it's looking great. There's no good you laughing, love. I'm going to start doing some combing, because he's combing.
Thoughts on the last live in London? Yeah, a very, very good weekend. Great investigation, I thought. Super locations, all 3 of them.
Just some of the things coming up over the next hour. Now, in a moment, I know the moment that you, the fans and the audience here, love the most, when we catch up with the stars of the show, Yvette Fielding and Carl Beattie. That's on the way after you've looked at this.
And London, the live that we've just done, was horrendous. It was absolutely horrendous. So I remember... Brilliant. It was brilliant, but it was horrendous. The living conditions were horrendous. And we'll sleep here tonight, so myself at the end, and here, and then Carl. I'll never forget standing on a plastic bag, naked apart from a pair of brown boots, washing myself in a men's toilet. Oh, the bed is broken.
I've gone.
We don't have any plans to do any more underground, and quite frankly, that would be the end of that.
No, it won't.
Yeah.
I want to do underground.
No, we're not doing any more underground. It's done. I'm not playing.
Underground, you should play.
I'm not playing with you.
Scared you can.
No, not doing it.
Most things happen when people aren't there, and if you're there for 24/7, if you're there all the time, you're going to catch it.
Shall we sit down?
Churchill actually looked at that.
I know.
How privileged, I can't believe it.
I have to say, the Church of the War Rooms,
Yes.
what an experience.
Do you know that got everybody gripped? Everybody gripped. Everybody kept coming up to us in the street, didn't they, and saying, "Oh, what about Trevor? What about Andrew? Did he go to the light?" Everybody was absolutely transfixed by it. They thought it was and it was brilliant.
What the...
Is it something just gone off in one of these rooms down there?
Yeah.
Well, a low point for me was when it ended, to tell you the truth, because I wanted to continue. I would quite happily have carried on.
We are back for an amazing Halloween spectacular.
There are so many different reasons why people have to watch this Halloween. It's going to be the scariest Halloween show that we've done. We're going to be in one of the most, if not the most frightening place we have ever been to.
And it is one of the scariest places. I mean, we've been to Iraqi. The way it started, our producer went and had a look. He came back, was so excited, and I mean, we've got people that have been there who've done many, many lives with us, have refused to be left alone in there, have actually refused to go in certain parts of there already, and we haven't even started yet. I have to say, when I said to Stuart about it, I was describing it. I had a couple of little photographs that I'd taken on my phone. I said to Stuart, and I said to him, I said, "There's a mortuary. I said, there's still got some slabs in there where they, you know, store the bodies in the freezer." And he's going, "Oh, great! They're getting on those." And, "Yes, we are." It's fantastic. Stuart and I can't wait to get in there. There's loads of little tunnels and stuff that we can get in as well.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be fantastic. I can't wait.
So here they are, the investigation team: Yvette Fielding, Carl Beattie, Stuart Torrival, Kath Howe, Kieran O'Keefe and Brian Shepard. Give them a welcome! Hi, Yvette. So, how are you feeling about the next 7 nights?
I am very, very excited, very, very frightened. And I'm very excited because the fabulous audience here are actually going to take part tonight in part of the ghost investigation, which is, for me, amazing. Also, can I introduce Chris Burton, who's on camera, and also David, who's on sound, right here at the back, which you probably
Chris
can't
and David, hello. Well done. Nice to see you. And Carl, this location, I know you've wanted to come here for ages, haven't you?
Oh yes, definitely, yeah.
Yeah, why?
It's because of the look of it, because of what it means, and the actual amount of ghost sightings that are here. I mean, there has been so many, more so than probably anywhere else we have ever investigated, and a great deal in this very room.
Yeah, interesting. Now, the other guys, quick thoughts, Stuart, on the next 7 nights?
I think it's going to be very, very exciting and very scary. It's going to be a real nail-biter.
Yeah, and Brian, I mean, some of your extraordinary drawings adorn the walls in here. What a location.
Well, absolutely. You know, I spent some time, you know, just having a walk around this place. I mean, look at it. It's absolutely amazing.
Sorry, we've got tapping going on underneath the stage as I'm speaking to you now.
So we have.
Can you feel it?
I've never had it's the first time anything's happened to me, so that I can hear that. Yeah,
You
that's
can hear it. It's
extraordinary.
going on now.
Great.
Well, there you go.
Yeah,
An amazing
there you are.
place. I was just going to say.
Thank you, Brian. I think I now believe you. Kath, I'm sorry. How are you?
Scared.
Yeah. And Kieran, I mean, our sceptic in the team, very important you're here. How are you feeling about it?
Well, also, being a doctor of psychology, the fact that we're in an abandoned mental asylum just holds a particular fascination for me as well. I can't wait.
Yeah. Now, the other thing we ought to say is we've been busy. We've been to America. We, of course, had the Live in London not that long ago. And you've been making a new TV show for Living.
Yes, we have. You'll all be delighted to hear this. Living with Yvette and Carl, and it's an hour show, basically living with us in our house and our children and how I have to put up with him.
Carl, how do you feel about having the cameras literally in your life?
I think it's fantastic because it shows the public just what a really, really nice guy I am.
Well, look, shall we have a look? I've got a little clip for you.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Here we go.
This part of the house I find absolutely fascinating. You wouldn't even know you were here. It was here. Let's pull it back. And there's a priest hole. It dates back to the Civil War. One Halloween, William had some of his mates over, and I told them ghost stories, and then I said, right, you've each got to go down into the dark hole and spend 10 seconds down. And they did.
it. One of them cried, I'm evil.
Living with Yvette and Carl is on your screens on Saturday the 1st of November from 9 o'clock, so make sure you catch it. Sounds like great fun.
It is, it will be, so please watch it. I think you'll enjoy it.
We should be watching. Now, questions from the audience, as ever when we do this show, and questions on the phone. So you ready to take some?
Yeah.
Let's go to the phones first up, and hello, Paul.
Hello there, how you doing?
I'm good. How's Hertfordshire?
Oh, it's a bit cold at the moment, but all looking forward to most haunted nights.
Yeah, we're having a storm here at the moment, by the way. Literally, the rain's pouring down, and so now, what's your question?
Okay, Yvette and Carl, how you doing? All right?
Yeah, good. How are you, Paul?
Right, when you first started Most Haunted, were you very nervous about what you might find?
Yes, when we first started Most Haunted, well, well, as everybody knows, the slightest noise, if anybody broke wind, dear God, I was like a cat on a ceiling. Absolutely terrible. So, yeah, I was an absolute bag of nerves. I think I've calmed down a little bit now, I have to say, Paul. What about you, Carl?
You have calmed down a lot, and you have to be a lot braver, but I was just always intrigued, as I still am, to find exactly what it is that's making the noises, and exactly if it is indeed the spirit of a dead person or there's some other explanation. I'm just intrigued, always have been. I think I always will be.
So, Paul, are you looking forward to the next 7 nights?
Yes, I am, really am. I'm glued to the telly since I come off the phone. I've been watching it right the way through.
Yeah, it looks scary, doesn't it?
Well, I went to the Alexander Palace one.
Oh, right.
I went to the live one on that one, and this one does look actually 10 times scarier.
Right, well, Paul, thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks, Paul.
Paul in Hertfordshire. Thank you very much. Brilliant. Now, also, questions from the audience, so let's head out to the audience, because lots of people here have been queuing all day to get into the audience. Thank you very much, all of you, for coming tonight, and let's find Sherry from the West Midlands. Hello, Sherry.
Hi.
What's your question?
When did you first become interested in ghosts and ghouls?
Yvette.
Oh, gosh. Well, I've always been interested in sort of having the tarot card evening, you know, with the girls and a bottle of wine and that sort of thing, you know. Thank you, Carl. But I never really liked horror movies. I've never seen the film The Exorcist. I won't watch any horror movies at all. And I only really became interested in ghosts when Carl and I came up with the idea of Most Haunted. So there you go.
Carl, what about you?
I think it was initially when I was very young, and my brother and I, we lived in a new house. It wasn't an old house or anything. And one evening, I thought I saw a guy in a 1930s outfit standing in our hallway. And when I went down in the morning and we were over breakfast, and I was only about 7 or 8, and my brother's 3 years older than I am, and he said, first, he said, oh, I saw somebody last night, scared me. It was somebody dressed like Humphrey Bogart. And for us both to see the same thing on the same night really just interested me from that early age. So that was probably my first ever thought that there might be some ghosts. But we never saw anything since or before that, so it's just a strange occurrence for one night.
Right, what about you, Sherry?
I was about 8 years old and I saw something in a cemetery with my friends, and
Really?
we all saw it together. And one decided, he was like, oh no, I can't see you, but we all saw it. It's about a figure about 9 foot tall and looked like the Grim Reaper.
Oh, God, did you run? Did you run?
No, we couldn't believe it. Was all.
Sherry, oh my goodness. I know you're going to enjoy tonight. Thank you for coming tonight, all right?
Thank
Sherry,
you.
thank you. Sherry from the West Midlands.
Thank you, Sherry.
Now, today is a very important day today, and I just want to make a little announcement and pull a little surprise for one of the people on stage today, because, ladies and gentlemen, it's Kath's birthday, and I have a cake. Happy birthday.
Can I stay here? I'll share it with anyone. I'll stay here.
Have a lovely birthday, Kath.
In the break, everyone can have a piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be sustenance later on in the show.
Yes.
Look, it's time we let the investigation team get away. So look, good luck. We're going to catch up with you later, of course, in the investigation proper later. So for the moment, Yvette, Carl, the rest of you, thank you very much indeed. I'll let you make your way. Thank you for coming on. Great, brilliant.
Thank you.
That's right over here. And it's going to be quite a night, believe me. And as ever, we want you to get interactive with the show. You're going to text, you're going to send your messages on the website, and we're going to, of course, take a look at the webcams a little bit later on in the show. This is how you get in touch with me. First of all, text the word screen to 80889, then a space and then your message. The text costs 50p plus one standard rate. And then, of course, the website, mosthauntedlive.net. That's the place to go to look at the webcams and the interactive map as well. And we'll be reading out your messages a little bit later on in the show. And joining me now to tell us more about Interactive, the man who earlier actually saw rigging cables, it's Stuart, my left-hand man on Interactive. Stuart, hello, good to see you.
Hello, Julian. Yeah, I'm not afraid to get my hands dirty, you know that.
Yes, I see with wires and so on. This is a really interesting site to rig and so on, isn't it?
Oh, definitely, because it's not a sort of an antiseptic or indeed warm TV studio. It's a genuine ruined, scary building. And don't tell health and safety, but since it started raining and all the holes in the roof, most of my cables are about an inch thick in water now. So yeah, if everything goes bang, might be my fault.
Yeah, now what are we looking for from everyone at home over the next 7 nights?
Well, as ever, we want everyone's sightings on the webcams. They can go onto the website and enter those as normal. We'd also like to hear from everyone on the text messages as well. Yeah. They can send those through and I'll be putting them on screen. And of course, I'm on the forums now as producer Stu, just about. So if anyone wants to come and have a chat or has any interactive questions, I'm there to answer them. And that's on mosthauntedlive.net.
It's going to be good. Thank you very much indeed, Stuart. So get in touch. We want to hear from you. And, of course, let me tell you once again, on Most Haunted Live, we have an amazing competition, a fabulous prize on offer. One lucky winner selected at random is going to walk off with a special ghost day. Yes, organised by Virgin Experience Days, a ghost hunting vigil, a séance, and psychic experiments as well. We're also going to throw in tickets to come to the next Most Haunted Live with priority seating. And by the way, when you head off for your experience day, you're going to get travel there, you're going to get accommodation as well, first class accommodation, bed and breakfast as well, all thrown in, and Most Haunted 10 on DVD, which isn't out until the beginning of November. And the runners-up walk off with the new DVD as well, and priority tickets for the next Most Haunted Live event, wherever that may be in the UK. No travel included in that, by the way. So if you'd like to win that prize, here is the question. What was the title of our Most Haunted Live back in August? Was it A, Total Darkness, B, Complete Blackness, or C, Turn Off the Lights? Now, if you'd like to enter, all you have to do is visit mosthauntedlive.net, and once this Most Haunted Live ends, the competition continues right the way through until the 7th of November, and we will of course announce the winner and the runners-up names on the website, so good luck with that. And if you didn't get all the competition details, don't worry, because I'll repeat them again a little bit later on in the show. Time for us to take a quick break. We'll be back very shortly. Lots more to come on Most Haunted Live from the Village of the Damned. Don't go away.
As regards my favourites Most Haunted, the investigation at Birkenhead Town Hall immediately springs to mind, because I thought it was very, very well done, and obviously me being a resident of Birkenhead, you know, I was glued to the set watching and that.
Good luck, Yvette, on this year's Most Haunted Live.
Welcome back to Most Haunted Live, coming to you from Wales. Tonight is the first of 7 shows from one of the most, I think, scary locations we've ever done Most Haunted Live from. An abandoned mental asylum built in the 1800s, covering 130 acres. Extraordinary, extraordinary. In fact, it's so big that some of the team have already been here to look round, including our psychic artist and medium, Brian Shepherd, who's been round, and over the next 7 nights is going to bring us a series of films. Here's the first of those.
A patient, Fred, old Fred or something, here a long time. Yeah, you know, died here. I mean, certainly, you know, the presence I'm getting, if indeed it's the same patient that we talked about just now, is someone who had a job getting along, you know what I'm saying? Very stooped, you know, hand down almost on one, you know what I'm saying? And like, you know, another hand against his back, as though it was painful to actually walk. So, just to illustrate what I'm thinking right now. You know, we've picked up on this old patient, if you like, you know, seems to very much belong here. So we've explored that. We've mentioned residually that it's quite a busy place in a sense, quite a community in a funny sort of way. These are long stay patients.
Brian Shepherd with his first report. More to come over the next 7 nights. Thanks for your message. Already coming into Interactive. Brilliant. Karen is watching all over the way in the United States. Brilliant, Karen. Watching the websites. Can't wait to see what happens tonight, she says. Luke in Birmingham is having a Most Haunted Live party. We'd love to hear from you on Most Haunted Live parties, by the way. Can't wait to see what happens tonight. And Dan is watching in the Netherlands and wants to wish the team good luck tonight. Let me tell you how you get in touch. You can text me. 80889 is the text number, 50p plus your standard message rate to get in touch by the text. And, of course, the website is mosthauntedlive.net. That's how you get in touch with the show. Now, interesting, because it's Halloween. Pumpkins are key to this, and I want you to meet some pumpkins and some members of the audience. So let's go and have a quick hello to people. We've asked all the people who've come tonight, or some of them, to bring their pumpkins. And interestingly, one of the people who've got their pumpkins right now will be going on the vigil later on. Hello to Sally and Sarah Jane. Hello, Sally.
Hi.
Where are you from?
I'm from Staffordshire.
Right, good to see you. And your pumpkin looks tremendous.
Yes, this is my ghostly bat. His name's Carl, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
How long did it take you?
It took me a couple of hours, 3 pumpkins later, and lots of pumpkin soup.
Right, it's good. Yeah, exactly. Oh, I like it. I like it. Of course, we don't know whether you're going to be the one. A bit scared if you go?
No, really intrigued.
Really?
Yeah.
Fascinating. Okay, Sarah Jane, hello.
Hello.
Where are you from?
Castle Carey in Somerset.
Good, good. Tell me about your pumpkin.
This is based on my partner's face, Rob, who's down there with his pumpkin, bless him. Yeah, I looked at him and that's where I got my inspiration for my pumpkin. Yeah.
I like it. Well, look, you could be the one going on the investigation. How do you feel about that?
Oh, that'd be amazing, yeah.
Yeah?
Really fantastic.
Right,
yeah.
are you, I mean, you both, obviously both fans of the show, aren't you?
Totally, yeah. Big believer, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, but I've got lots of friends who are non-believers who I really want to prove a point to.
Right. What do you think of the location?
I think it's awesome.
Yeah, it's
extraordinary. Amazing.
What do you think, Sarah Jane?
I think it's fantastic, yeah. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
And this, they reckon this is the spookiest room of all.
Yeah. I can't wait for something to happen.
Getting any feelings?
Not just yet, no. But
right.
I hope to.
Okay, what about you, Sarah Jane?
It's cold in here, very
it is,
cold.
Isn't it? Well, look at the windows. Some of the windows aren't even in there. They're missing, aren't they?
I'm freezing, I'm shaking, my legs, I can't stop them.
Well, look, both of you, obviously one of you or one of the other two we're going to meet in a while will be going on the investigation. So maybe it will be you. I wish you well. Thanks for coming on. Thanks for bringing your pumpkins. Give them a round of applause. Now, fans, this is what the show's all about, Most Haunted Live. Wouldn't be Most Haunted Live without you at home. And we've done some films with some Most Haunted Live fans. Fan number 1 is Alan.
I'm Alan. I live in Birkenhead and I'm a writer. The couple helped the ghost hunter onto the railway platform. As he brushed tunnel dust from his overcoat, he noticed... Well, as regards my favourites most haunted, the investigation at Birkenhead Town Hall immediately springs to mind because I thought it was very, very well done, and obviously me being a resident of Birkenhead, you know, I was glued to the set watching that. What's that then? Barry asked, nodding at the instrument. Oh, that's what you might call an EMF, he said. Or when a Most Haunted Live event starts, I usually have my tea, relax on the sofa, get a bottle of wine, you know, and sit there with a bottle of wine, you know, enjoying the show and that, you know. I just like to relax and take in every aspect of the programme. Recognition then dawned on Barry's face. Oh yeah, that's right. I've seen instruments like that on Most Haunted. The current project I'm working on at the moment is a collection of my own short horror stories, which I've given the working title Shockers. Paula could read no more. Not once her eyes fell on a small photo of the dead man whose face was disturbingly familiar. It was the face... I'm the webmaster of the #1 ghost story site on Google. I primarily set the site up as a labour of love, because I know there's thousands of people over the world that are interested in the paranormal and ghosts. Well, when the weather's quite nice, I often go down to Hamilton Square Gardens, and I usually plonk myself down on a bench, get my pad out and start looking around at all the buildings, and I start jotting down basic, maybe little kernels of ideas for a short story. And you've got the Hamilton Square railway station, which sometimes I take a trip down there and stand on the railway platform and, you know, if I see an interesting character, get them on the train or off the train, I might say, that might be a good character for one of these stories. I'll jot it down on my pad. Watching Most Haunted, I can draw on inspiration for a possible story which I could work on. Paula felt dazed with shock and disbelief. Dear God, not just one ghost here, but two. As regards the short story I wrote, Last Train, I did draw on some inspiration from certain scenarios in Most Haunted, but then I added a lot of my own ideas onto it to sort of like, you know, pad the story out. But yeah, I would say Most Haunted has been a good contributory factor towards my writing.
Fan Alan Tower and plenty more Most Haunted Live fans to meet over the next 7 nights. Now, time to meet some more pumpkins. I've actually spent most of the last film of Alan there holding a hat on a pumpkin. Let me explain more. Let's meet our next two pumpkin holders. It's hello to Jackie. Hello, Jackie.
Hello.
Yes, what's happening with your pumpkin then?
I think the rain has shrunk the hat.
It kept on falling off, didn't it?
That's
So a little bit of background, lots of pumpkin pie, or how'd you do it?
It was a last-minute decision this morning because I was coming here this evening, and I just thought, well, why not? So it took me about 10 minutes, and on the last minute I've just grabbed the hat on the way out the door.
Extra touch. You're
Yes.
not even from Scotland, are you?
No.
Oh, okay. Let's meet our other guest. It's Sarah, isn't it, Sarah?
Yes.
Where are you from?
I'm from Madeley in Crewe, Cheshire.
Right, good to see you. Tell me a bit more about your pumpkin.
This is my pumpkin. It's based on a haunted house.
Oh, I like that.
Could be a little Denby Asylum, really.
Yeah, Kevin, that's rather good. Yeah, I'm
and
impressed.
it was a joint effort, actually,
Right.
between me and my son. Took us about an hour.
Good job. Now, you realise it could be one of you two, obviously the 4 pumpkins we've got here going on the investigation. Jackie, how do you feel about that?
Oh, it'd be fantastic.
Yeah?
Yeah, really fantastic.
So you always wanted to go on an investigation?
Yeah, because I've been a great fan of the show for an awful long time.
Right. So could be you, or, of course, it could be you, Sarah.
Wow, that'd be really, really good.
How are you feeling about the location?
It's awesome. It is. It's a magnificent building, and I believe that they're going to probably pull it down afterwards, which is a great shame.
Yeah. I mean, Sarah, this unusually, I mean, we've never done the audience part of the show in a room that's so haunted.
I know. It's really cold in here as well, which adds to the ambience of it all. So.
Yeah. You get any feelings about this, Jackie?
A few hairs standing on the back of my
Really?
head. Yes.
Right. Okay. Well, look, I wish you both well tonight. All right, and we'll decide who goes on the vigil a bit later on. But thanks for coming on the show, Jackie and Sarah. Now, time for us to take another break. In the next part of the show, we're going to meet Paul Ross, we're going to meet Leslie Smith, lots to talk about with them. So whatever you do, don't go away. Back in the Village of the Damned in a few minutes.
Got a boyfriend? What's he like? Is he nice? Yeah. Does he treat you well?
Oh, yeah.
This is looking great, isn't it? Even so far it's looking great. There's no good you laughing, love. I'm going to start doing some combing because he's combing.
Welcome back to Most Haunted Live. We are live in North Wales in an abandoned mental asylum covering 130 acres. All the buildings here are dilapidated, they're falling down, they are in a complete state of disrepair. It's an extraordinary location for our live tonight, and at 9 o'clock tonight the main investigation gets underway. The team will be visiting some of the scariest locations I've ever seen, I have to say, for Most Haunted Live. Now, right now, I want you to meet the captain of the ship of Most Haunted Live and our resident historian. Yes, it's Paul Ross and Leslie Smith.
Thank you. I think you're going to say you're going to meet a couple more old Bruins.
Would I?
Only me, not you, Leslie. Look lovely.
Of course not you, Leslie. Paul, first up, how are you?
I'm fine, although I must say, for the first time ever, I'm a little creeped out and frightened. Just before we've come on to talk to you, the rain has descended, there are storms out there, the trees are rattling against the broken window. It's an amazing place, this, and we are here in a very respectful sense, but it is fascinating and so promising tonight.
Yeah, and that's the first time we stood on this stage, and I heard the tapping that Yvette and the rest of the team heard. I've never heard anything before, so it's my first experience of doing all these lives. Leslie, what about you?
I'm thrilled because lovely to see. I'm thrilled because so many people in the team setting up, you know, big burly blokes putting the electrics and running away. There've been some fantastic responses, and although I must say the weather is extreme and giving us a bit of rattling, as we were just saying, people are seeing figures and all sorts of things. I think we're in for a hell of a night, and a hell of a 7 nights actually.
Yeah. And Paul, the other thing we mentioned it earlier, the audience. We are in one of the most haunted locations in the whole place,
and coming up a big experiment in this very room, right in the heart of the audience. That's going to be fantastic tonight.
Yeah. What about history, Leslie? I don't want to give too much away, but I know you spent hours doing this, don't you, looking into the background of a place like this?
Yes, and I'm not the only one. There's a chap called Tom Williams, who in fact is my main researcher, and he's the one who produces much of the work. And he's very competent. He's from Royal Palace, he's in the British Museum, does a tremendous amount. We chew it over together. The history of the place is, people think it's settled in the middle, really, of the 19th century, and a huge amount has happened since then. But also there are other things about the area. There's above and beyond that, so I don't want to say too much, you're quite right, but as the layers peel away, as our mediums start working, I think it's going to be tremendous.
And I think we've got extra team members tonight. We've got a guest medium who people are going to meet later on. Also, another guest who is an expert specialist in the black arts and demonology. So we've got an awful lot of expertise on tap to help Leslie out.
And how do you both feel about being with the investigation team? Because so often they're off somewhere else and they're with us. I mean, I just had makeup done with Yvette. First time I've done that for years, because she's always somewhere else.
I must say, I would rather eat my own foot than go in investigation. I'm incredibly timid and cowardly, and the fact that we're in the room where it might happen, I've already got the goosebumps on the back of my neck, so...
Yeah. Okay, well look, something we're going to be doing is getting a cauldron out. We thought for Halloween, and I've got the cauldron here, which weighs a ton actually, and it's a bit like a trick-or-treat thing. So
it's got spiders all over it.
It's got spiders. Oh, lovely, there they are, little spiders. So would you mind both putting your hand in? Ladies first or gentlemen first this time?
At the same time?
And we'll see whether we get a trick-or-treat. So go for, all right, together.
Am I meant to look?
No.
Oh.
Yes. That spoils it if you do that.
Oh, my God, what the hell's that?
Oh. So what? Oh, no. Oh, crikey.
It's a toffee apple. What's that, Paul? Is it attached to anything else?
I was told it wasn't dirty, but it is, isn't it? My God, it really is covered in lovely.
Oh, Paul! This has got something strange on it.
Yes, I think it's a plastic cellophane cover.
I think it's a cold sausage.
I wonder if there's anything else. Yes, I haven't done that for a long time. That's very strange.
I think that must be the trick. That's not a treat. That's the trick.
Is it a sausage?
Yeah. I bow to your great experience.
Right, let's go to the phones because we've got a question. And Sarah is in Sunbury-on-Thames. Hi, Sarah.
Hi.
Hello, what's your question?
It's for Leslie. It's a bit messy, isn't it?
Yeah, just a bit. We love it.
You've got such an exciting job. I was just wondering how you actually became an historian.
Well, you can kill Paul. I became a historian because I was determined to, I think, from when I was a little girl. And you can as well. You don't necessarily have to get sort of very worried about the detail. Just go out and get to find out about your own area and enjoy it immensely. Take it a little bit further, as I've done. Go to university, perhaps go on to different degrees. I'm currently doing my PhD at the moment. It's really about a passion for the people that surround you in the buildings. I'm very lucky. I do exactly what I want to do in terms of real excitement in terms of a job, and I hope you can do it as well. Come and share it.
It's been my dream for quite a few years now.
You write to me then.
Yeah, go for that, Sarah, because Leslie will reply.
Yes, I've got a number of people, help other people into universities and things. I'll help you write to me.
Right, Sarah, thank you very much indeed. Give Sarah a round of applause, please. Brilliant. So, whilst we sort out some hygienic wet wipes for Paul and Leslie, we thought during the next 7 nights we'd find out what happened if the teams, who all do important jobs, I might add, what would happen if members of the team swapped jobs? You'd be surprised. Look at film number 1.
I've got Carl coming into the salon today. He's always bragging how he thinks my job's easy. So I've said, right, you do my job and I'll have a go at yours. So I've kind of gone through a few things with him. I've got a client that I've got in today. He's going to do some cutting and I'm going to leave him to it.
I've got the easiest task because I'm just taking over from Kath's salon. So all I've got to do there is go and cut some of his hair. How hard can it be?
Very nice. Lovely hair you've got, lovely and thick.
Hello.
Oh, hello. This is it?
This is your empire?
This is my empire, yeah.
Yeah, I can see what I'm doing already.
You got split ends, love? Look on. Look at each one of them are split. Look, split, split, split.
If we find out what Nicola wants. What's it? We'd like a bit of layering, a bit of graduation, and a slanted fringe at the front, and a delay at the back. Okay, are you alright? It won't be long.
Just go, love, it'll be fine.
It's fine.
Bye.
Bye.
Do you know how to get in the till? Now, you've probably not had your hair cut like this before, but this is the new wave of hair cutting. Got a boyfriend? And what's he like? Is he nice?
Yeah.
Does he treat you well?
Oh, yeah.
This is looking great, isn't it? Even so far it's looking great. There's no good you laughing, love. I'm going to start doing some combing, because who's combing? I think this just have you seen the layering effect here at the back? And the creation of this new wave, 1980s. Hey, this is, have you seen this layering at the back? This is, look. And this what's layering effect here, which is bringing the beauty of the front to the back.
Carl, do you want to just come in the back?
Just give us a little...
Just pop your scissors down, just come in the back a sec.
Sure, there's a few stray hairs which are ruining the ambience.
Yeah. Pop in the back. Just have a word with you, please. Thanks. So, what have you done?
I think I found a vocation. I think I found somewhere that when most water dries up, I can come here. Because obviously, you can probably see from my cut that I've not been classically trained.
Do you know, I've lost for words.
It's hard work being a hairdresser.
Well, I don't know what to say. I mean, it's not what she wanted.
I have so much respect for hairdressers. I really do. I thought it was going to be easy. Made a mess up.
Yes, Carl Beattie becomes a hairdresser for a day, or maybe just 5 minutes is enough there. Paul and Leslie, job swapping. I mean, let me ask you, who on the crew would you swap with if you could? I mean, Paul.
On the team, I'd love to do your job because it's great to get in all the interactive information and talk to people at home. I would love, if I had the expertise, to do Dr. Kieran O'Keefe's job. Oh. To be able to work all those gizmos and gadgets and to be out there doing a scientific appraisal of the things he sees would be fantastic. I'd love to do that.
Interesting. Leslie, what about you?
Yeah, I think I'd probably like to be able to be the sound man. Because I'm so rubbish at things like that, really. I'd like someone to be able to teach me how to do it. And because I could just talk all the time and nobody could stop me. It'd be fantastic.
Because you know, if you do sound, you have to put, excuse me, viewer, you've got to put all these things in the back of people's trousers and stuff like
That's
that.
why.
I mean, yeah,
you spotted it. Yeah, I'm blowing.
And when Leslie wears one of her gorgeous spray-on cocktail dresses, suddenly everyone on the crew pretends to be a sound man, so they can get the wire down the... go down there, hey?
Now, more questions. This is a good one. Graham in Sheffield. Thank you, Graham, for this one. When you were growing up, Paul and Leslie, what would you do on Halloween? Paul?
Well, I'm of an age where Halloween wasn't as popular as it is now. It was more Guy Fawkes night. But my mum would always have us bobbing for apples, and we'd have toffee apples and stuff. And we would, in the house, play hide and seek in a kind of ghostly way, but we didn't really do the trick or treat. But my children, they absolutely love it. I mean, I've got 5 kids, and I don't look it. I've kept my figure, no stretch marks. But they go trick or treating, and they absolutely love it. I think it's their favourite holiday after Christmas, Halloween. They absolutely love it.
It's really taken off, hasn't it, the last 10 years or so. What about you, Leslie?
I remember it vividly because I went to a convent. Of course, everybody who's met me realises I did, and it's true what they say. And I used to go around with a little group of friends trying to get them souls out of purgatory. No wonder I'm a strange woman. I was about 7. We used to trudge round to various churches lighting candles in a desperate attempt to get people out of purgatory. And yes, I remember doing that very vividly. I think it was just my mother's way of getting me out of the house, actually.
Probably. Okay, good one. Simon in Cornwall, the favourite thing about Wales? Because, I mean, we've been to Wales before, but Paul, what do you love about Wales?
I absolutely love Wales. I've got relatives outside Cardiff. I did years ago when I was training as a journalist, I did 2 months in Cardiff. It's fantastic. We did a great show from Llanelli.
Yes, we did.
We did 3 nights from Llanelli, which is fantastic. And I think up in this part of North Wales, in the valleys, in the Clwyd Valley, the scenery is just astonishing. You could be on a different planet. It could be Middle Earth from Lord of the Rings. They should have shot Lord of the Rings here, not New Zealand. It's so beautiful.
I agree with you. Leslie?
The people are extraordinary and so generous. The language is simply breathtaking. I just wish I could pronounce some of it. Do my best. The audience often help me when I need to be able to do that.
I did see a sign on the way here today, and it was for a go-karting track, karting, and the Welsh for karting is cartio. So I reckon I could probably learn it quite quickly.
Yeah, very good. We'll see you later. Leslie Smith, Paul Ross, give them a round of applause.
Thank you.
More from Paul and Leslie a little bit later on. Time for us to take another break in this, I reckon, going to be the most scariest, most haunted live location ever here in North Wales. We'll see you in just a minute.
Thoughts on the last live in London? Yeah, a very good weekend. Great investigation, I thought. Super locations, all three of them.
Is there anybody there? Oes 'na rhywun yna?
Welcome back to the fourth part of the show from Wales. We're building up to what may be one of the scariest, most haunted lives ever, and tonight's show involves not only the investigation team, but also the studio audience. They are going to be getting involved in the investigation tonight for the first time. We are in fact in one of the most haunted rooms in this whole 130-acre location. So the audience have a treat in store, or maybe a scare in store later on in the show. Already you're getting in touch via interactive. Thank you very much indeed for all your messages. Hello to Yeyan in Chloc and his whole family having a most haunted live party tonight. Hello to you. Becca and Tegan in St Martin say, hi team, good luck. Have a funny feeling it's going to be a good night tonight. We'll look out for strange things on the webcams. We love the live shows, loads they say. Min in Worcester, can't wait for the show tonight. I think it's going to be as scary as Pendle Hill, says Min. Simon and Jane in Poole and Dorset say hi to all the team. Can't wait for tonight's show, watching the show and enjoy the most haunted lives. And Todd Gaynor and Tyler in Stoke-on-Trent, they thought the Total Darkness special at the August Bank Holiday weekend from London was amazing, and they reckon tonight and this next 7 days is going to be just as scary. Thank you for your messages. Keep them coming. I have more from Interactive later on in the evening. Now, Brian Shepherd, I mentioned earlier, has done 7 films about the location, but we also caught up with him earlier to look back and reflect on our London special and look ahead to the next 7 nights.
Thoughts on the last live in London? Yeah, a very good weekend. Great investigation, I thought. Super locations, all three of them. The Aldwych tube, the disused tube. I'd never been down there before, I have to say. What an experience that was in many ways. Great investigation. Amazing, you know, the things we picked up down there. Absolutely, as I say, you know, anyone who saw it will realise what I'm saying.
Someone was thrown. You know, the snoring, it's like I was next to Brian Shepherd, me, and then Stuart. Brian, the size of him, what comes out of his... I can't believe it.
Having a sleep on the platform, and all that entailed, all the personal things, of course. Snoring at night, apparently I do. Where are we now? In North Wales, on a beach. I mean, what a contrast. A world away, let's say, from city life. And you know what? It's great. I'm used to taxis and buses and, you know, general traffic. And you know, I'm looking around, I can't see a car. No, it's great. Seriously, I'm looking forward to working down there. Regarding my painting, yes, normally my influences would be, yes, city life. But here, you know, this induces something else, isn't it? You can see, you know, a landscape painter is coming to a place like this is wonderful. I really get to visit the location prior to actually turning up on the investigation night. This time round is slightly different. I have visited the sanatorium. What can I say? Well, it is an incredible place. I mean, it's completely derelict. There's bits falling around all over the place. It is so atmospheric, you would not believe it. Prior to turning up at that sanatorium yesterday, I thought, goodness me, what are we going to do, you know, for 7 nights? believe me, we will find something to do for 7 nights, because it is vast and it is a hell of a place.
Wales really is an amazing location for our Most Haunted Live Halloween special. I actually be conducting my own Wales travelogue later on in the week, so look out for that. But it's time now to get the investigation underway. There'll be more from me on Interactive later on in the evening, but right now let's hand over to the man in charge for the rest of the nights. It's Paul Ross.
Thank you, Julian. Well, we're about to kick off an extraordinary paranormal investigation running all the way up until All Hallows Eve on Friday, Halloween itself, which means we are in for an unprecedented 7-night Most Haunted Live investigation as Yvette Fielding and the team take on the Village of the Damned. But before we reacquaint ourselves with Yvette and the rest of the gang, let's take a brief look at where we are and what might be in store for us.
A forlorn and abandoned insane asylum in Wales provides the setting for an extra special 7 nights of Halloween Most Haunted Live. This sprawling estate, with its own farm, chapel, blacksmith, carpenters, in fact everything it might need to keep it in isolation, was envisaged as a place to shut away the feeble-minded, the seriously deranged and the criminally insane from the rational world. Its community becoming, in the thoughts of many, a village of the damned, where poor unfortunate beings were hidden away from their deluded thoughts. But it is allegedly a place where all manner of strange and inexplicable events occurred. Footprints leading to bricked-up doors, eerie shrieks and cries from empty corridors and stairways, the sounds of invisible doors crashing shut, sinister sightings of dark, shadowy figures, and even tales of witches and demons. Just the unhinged imaginings of the demented, or genuine visualizations of another world beyond ours? The Most Haunted team intend to find out.
So it looks like we're in for a truly amazing 7 nights of paranormal investigation. Here to tell us what they've made of the place so far. A huge welcome, please. Yvette Fielding and the team. Carl Beattie, Dr. Kieran O'Keefe, Brian and Kath, of course, and Stuart. Whoa! Now, that applause is huge. I think a bit nervous as well, because you're conducting an experiment in this very room, which is charged, we're told, with paranormal activity.
Yes, Carl and I came up with this idea, which you'll thank us for later, I'm sure. Yes, you will. This room apparently is incredibly haunted, so we thought, you know what, for the first time ever, I'm not sure if it's ever been done before, we're actually going to conduct a Ouija board session right in the middle of the audience. We're going to ask the audience to take part in that and see if we can get some energy going, see if we can get anything happening in this room, and I'm feeling tapping as I'm speaking to you.
And what's fascinating is, and this is a brilliant idea, it's a see-through table, see-through chairs, so for those sceptics who say sometimes maybe somebody's kicking the table or moving the table, there is no possibility of that at all tonight.
Absolutely not. Carl and I came up with the idea. We think that every paranormal group, any investigation, they should have a table like this so everybody can see what's going on.
A real TV first, and the first of only 7 nights. I know, Carl, that you and Stuart have been wandering around a 130-acre estate, a real dilapidated building, and you've had a couple of accidents so far, and one big near miss.
Yeah, I did have a little bit. I was in a... we've cordoned off a lot of places we're not supposed to go, so obviously that's the first place we went. And, and I had a little bit of a falling through the floor incident.
How many stitches?
4.
4 stitches, okay. Oh dear, 14 stitches.
It's fine though, it's cool.
And then you were in recce in one of the rooms, having a little reconnoitre with Stuart was there in the camera, and it wasn't the most firm of foundations there?
No, we've had a lot of points where we were in one room where we were with a camera and you could actually feel the floor just slowly giving away underneath you because the carpet was over the top. So we actually, the floor was doing this.
I can tell from Yvette's face, you haven't shared this with her.
No,
you haven't heard about this, have you?
This was the first time.
I was kept in the dark, I didn't know anything about it.
I told her I fell over and cut my hand.
Okay, it's a real challenging location. I shouldn't make light of it, of course, because this is effectively a collapsing building, a dilapidated building, but a fascinating location with real potential, Brian. What are you looking forward to tonight?
You know, I've walked around here, I'm so looking forward to the possibility of anything that, well, I've already picked things up, for heaven's sakes. There are things going on here. I just hope that that happens tonight, for us.
So you've been here a while, and you've used your psychic gift, your psychic art gift, to create pictures about the rooms we're visiting for the vigils over the next 7 nights. Tonight we're going to the southeast wing of this enormous building. This is the art that's come to you for this room. I think we can take a look at it on the screen. Certainly I think people can see it at home. There it is. Now, can you tell us a little bit more about what you felt, what you envisaged when you came up with that quite disturbing image?
No, absolutely. Well, you can see that, you know, we'll hope we can see anyway, that it's a very dilapidated ward, okay? And as I stood there, you know, I got the feeling, first of all, of a very high energy source over at one side of the ward. And this, well, okay, image, vision, appeared to me, or into my mind anyway. And this is exactly what I draw. Now, I know that you can't see any kind of definition in it, but it was this shape drifting, or, you know, dragging a foot behind it. I think a man, but that's what I felt. A long-term patient maybe, and, you know, job to get along.
Which is an amazing place to start from. I'm sure we're getting much more when you visit that area tonight. Finally, Dr. Kieran O'Keefe, great to see you again, Kieran. I know you bought all kinds of new gadgets and gizmos and doohickeys and stuff, but we should be absolutely serious about this place. Of course, it was used in the 19th century for the treatment of people with mental illness, ranging from dementia to other mental problems. In those days, though, presumably, the mental treatment people received was quite primitive.
Well, yeah, you're talking about before psychoanalysis, any sort of real therapy, any sort of medical treatment. So the sort of therapy that they went through, sleep therapy and some real awful shock therapy, yeah, it considered barbaric by today's age, but certainly these people went through it.
Also, we do know there are constant criticisms of this place about overcrowding, people sleeping in the corridors, and as Yvette was saying to us earlier, this was a village of 2,000 inhabitants here. An awful lot of potential for tonight. Usually, this is the point where I sit back, I send you guys off, you do all the work in terrifying locations, and I'm safe in the studio with a very safe and warm studio audience. It's very cold in here tonight, and we're at the heart of the investigation tonight because, well, for the next 7 nights, we're all going to be in the thick of it. Tonight, another First of Most Haunted Live. Yvette and the team are going to conduct a Ouija board session right here amidst the studio audience. So Yvette and the team, will you now please go off and prepare for that? So while Yvette and the team prepare for that Ouija board session right in the centre of this room, this grand hall, in this ancient building right here in North Wales, let's catch up with another member of the Most Haunted team, the one who puts a bit of historical meat on the bones and the intuition that Brian and the team come up with. She's gorgeous, she's glamorous, she's right here now, Leslie Smith. Give her a round of applause. Now again, we should start by stressing this was a working asylum for people with mental problems.
That's right.
Founded in the Victorian era.
That's right.
A fascinating building there, and on a huge scale, this, Leslie. Amazingly large place.
The scale of it's actually terrifying, really. And we have to consider that before the Mental Health Acts really came into place, which helped people, particularly the poor, richer people with mental health problems, were nursed at home. We think of Jane Eyre, you know, with a wife in the loft being looked after by a nurse. So in fact, the difficulties that people suffered, they were just either left within their own communities. Some people would say that's care in the community, but others, you know, who really struggled with violence and this sort of thing, and violence to themselves, came to places like this. But the scale of it is absolutely breathtaking. It is absolutely huge.
And we can tell from your hair and from the way we're all shivering a bit, it's open to the elements. Windows are broken, a bit cold in here tonight, but I know you're going to stay focused for us, Leslie.
I am.
For the moment, thank you very much. And as you know now, Most Haunted Live, we value your input. This is your show. We need you to get in touch with us, to watch the webcams, to tell us what you see and sense. And all that information is channeled through our interactive team, led by Julian Clegg.
Thank you very much, Paul. And Most Haunted Live wouldn't be Most Haunted Live without you at home going onto the website, looking at the webcams, looking at the interactive map, sending your messages on the text, and I'll tell you how you can do that in a few moments' time. Now, this is such a large location that I really do commend you to go to the website and look at the interactive map this time, because as we've been saying for the last hour or so, 130 acres. Let's have a look at the map right now on the website, mosthauntedlive.net. There you can see it, the village of the damned. You can see where we are, just flashing there, and as you can see, just such a small part. Let's go through the webcams. Isolation room, there it is there, the first webcam. The second webcam, the ground floor ward, flashing up there. The third webcam in the first floor ward, flashing there. And then the fourth webcam in the corridor. So let's have a look at those webcams right now and see what's happening on them. First of all, webcam 1, we'll bring that up one right now, located in one of the isolation rooms. You can see it there. If you see anything unusual, any unusual ghostings or any orbs, I want to hear from you, please. Webcam 2 is in the main ward on the ground floor. We bring it up. Then you really can see on these webcams how dilapidated this whole building is. By the way, if you get in touch, tell me who you are and what time you make the sighting, please. Webcam 3, let's move to that one now, is in the first floor ward, and look, you can see all the rubbish and the ceilings crashing in and so on. There it is, that is webcam 3, the first floor ward, and then webcam 4 is the ground floor corridor. We bring that one up for you there as well. And through the, you can actually hear the rain on that one. As the evening goes on, I'll update you on what's happening on those webcams, and of course we'll give you details along the bottom of the screen as well. So this is how you do that. First of all, text me, text the word screen and a space to 80889. The text costs 50p plus 1 standard rate message. Also the details on the website, the webcams are there, the maps there, and you can message me there too at mosthauntedlive.net. That's how to get in touch. Please do that right the way through the evening. Now, once more on Most Haunted Live, a fantastic competition prize for you. One lucky winner selected at random is going to walk off with a night of ghost hunting for 2, courtesy of Virgin Experience Days. This includes a ghost hunting vigil, psychic experiments, and a seance as well. You'll also get first-class travel, standard class travel to and from you to the location that you can choose around the UK. And you can take those any time between now and the end of March, except bank holidays, by the way. I ought to add that, and we'll throw in bed and breakfast accommodation based on 2 people sharing. Also, you'll come to the next Most Haunted Live event in the UK with priority seating on that, and we'll throw in as well Most Haunted Series 10 out on DVD at the beginning of next month as well. And runners-up are going to walk off with a new DVD as well, and you'll be coming to the next Most Haunted Live location. We won't include travel on that one though, but we look forward to seeing you if you walk off with the runners-up prize as well. So here's the question this time round. What was the title of our last Most Haunted Live, transmitted in August? Was it A, Total Darkness, B, Complete Blackness, or C, Turn Off the Lights? One of those is the right answer. You can enter now by visiting the website mosthauntedlive.net. And once this Halloween special ends next weekend, we're going to keep the competition open on the website right the way through until November the 7th. And of course, do remember to leave your name and where you're from in case you win, of course, and then we'll post the winners' names on the Living website. So good luck with that. Look forward to seeing you at the Most Haunted Live event. More from Interactive to come through the evening. For the moment, Paul, back to you.
Thank you, Julian. Well, Yvette Fielding and the team are about to begin a Ouija board session right in the middle of the audience. It's cold, it's wet, it's dark, it's Most Haunted Live, and we're with you for the next 7 nights. Stay with us. Back after this.